like the film. Obviously, there are undertones of mental illness in this film, and I want to know throughout the writing process, did you know you wanted to bring up a specific mental illness, or was it just the effects of Instagram on society? I just want to know throughout your writing process, did it come naturally, or was it something that you thought of in the beginning to bring up with Ingrid's case?
喺編劇裏邊嘅呢個古仔亦都當然係涉及到精神病啦。咁就想知道係好刻意有精神病喺裏邊咧，有冇諗過啊？因為係一直喺度寫，因為 Instagram， 然後帶起咗呢啲精神問題。
We knew from the beginning we wanted her to have a mental illness. But I didn't want to, and we did a lot of research in terms of, like, you researched borderline personality disorder. I did research into, people who have dealt with, grown up in alcoholic households with Al-Anon meetings and stuff like that to see how certain people deal with that. But I didn't want to make the film, I didn't want people to be able to write her off just because she was mentally ill, so I was worried that if we defined it too much, that it would become a mental illness movie rather than a social media movie.
Okay, so you're really talking about not specifying what type of mental illness. 係刻意唔俾太多背景，唔俾太多資料，等睇到或者係呢個女仔實在係因為譬如屋企係有人係好酒啊，因為等等嘅完全唔係咁樣嘅做法。Okay, and
yeah, and like Talented Mr. Ripley, for example, Tom Ripley's a sociopath, but no one in the movie ever says, you're a sociopath. You kind of leave it up to the audience to figure out for themselves what makes the character tick. So I didn't want to, dictate too much to the audience.
Okay, 譬如好似 Talented Mr. Ripley 咁樣，其實嗰個男主角我哋大家都知道佢患咗咩嘅症狀，但係其實整個電影裏邊係冇講話係一個 sociopath。Okay. Another question here.
Hello. Thanks so much for coming to Hong Kong, such a treat for us.
Thanks for having me.
I have two questions. I'm going to be a bit naughty. The first one is very indulgent, which is, do you have any fun gossip to share about the reception of the film among LA's Instagram scene?
Okay, can I translate that first?
Absolutely, go ahead.
Okay, 第一個問題 good one. 就係呢一個電影喺 LA 有冇寫到 LA 嘅 Instagram 呢啲用戶有啲咩嘅反應咧？有啲咩 gossip 有啲咩可以話俾我哋知咧？ One at a time.
It may not come as a surprise, but LA people really enjoy the film.
LA 人好中意。
They really relate to. There's a lot of jokes that I noticed didn't get a laugh here that I think are maybe a little too LA specific, but we actually, when we were promoting the film, we did screenings for Instagram influencers. So we had influencer-only screenings. And I was really nervous because I didn't know, are they going to hate the movie or are they going to want to tear me apart afterwards? And actually they loved it. And they all, I think maybe none of them thought it was about them.
And then OK， 我哋喺 LA 嗰陣時特別試片，而試片嗰陣時咧係有幾個試片場係特別請呢啲好多 follower 嗰啲 Instagram 用戶，咁其實都好驚嘅，佢哋會中意啦，唔中意冇嘢就可能係鬧到導演隻狗血淋頭啦但係好彩佢哋好中意。So they kept on doing this with their thumbs.
Well, it's always funny too when the screenings end. It's like I come out to do the thing and I'm watching and everybody's like.
好啦，即係譬如有個 screening， 我哋會睇到雖然行出嚟對住咁多觀眾，但係發現好多人係低頭。
I'm sorry, what was your second?
Okay, no, that was it.
My second question was, I thought for a film that's about the millennial generation, it actually didn't have too much dependency on a musical soundtrack component, whereas a lot of stuff that comes up, that's come out recently that has to do with this generation does focus a lot on the music. I mean, there were definitely some moments, like when they were smoking the cigarette in the car and whatnot, but was that intentional from you?
係音樂嘅用法譬如話，雖然呢一個係肯定係一個係 Instagram millennial 即係90後嘅年代嘅人嘅古仔，咁但係發現咧，譬如話音樂嗰方面咧，好似特別咧係唔係用得好多。It wasn't actually too much music.
There's actually a lot, and so I wonder, that's maybe a good thing that you don't notice it, because I think if you notice it too much, it's hopefully you're watching the film and you're not thinking about the making of the film and the different components. So I think hopefully, but there's 28 music cues and in the film, so
其實
there's a
呢
lot.
電影裏邊有28個音樂片段嘅，但係或者可能你哋睇嗰時已經係畫面同埋古仔等等，使到你好投入，所以因此咧音樂你哋未必可以感覺得到，亦都係好事。Good, that's actually good. That means you're successful.
I hope, yeah.
Thank you. Good, thank you. Okay, another question?
Hi.
Oh yes, your neighbor. Okay, good.
So I recently listened to a podcast by Paul Greengrass, and he was talking about how whenever you create a film, there's always a certain sense of disappointment. Sorry to end on like a bit of a low question, but that part of the films that you create is also a reflection of yourself, and that you can never really recreate actually what you wanted to have in your mind. You can never really get that on film. Did you feel like that happened with this film, or do you feel like it was an accurate reflection of what you hoped it to be?
想問問導演拍呢個電影係咪完全真係可以實現到導演嘅理想，實現到導演佢希望可以拍得出嚟嘅效果？
Well, there's a saying that says, that goes, you make the film 3 times, when you write it, when you shoot it, and when you edit it. And, you know, I think that's very true, at least it was true for me, and I think nothing comes out the way, even when you write it, you have this image of it in your head, and then your fingers start typing, and it's so bad, and it's not what you were picturing, and so you're constantly trying to write it to get it to what you pictured in your head.
但係其實咧，人哋有某一個人話下，佢話咧，其實拍電影係做電影嘅，其實有3次嘅，咁就好似3部電影。第一就係當你寫劇本，第二咧係拍，第三咧係剪接。咁其實咧係好多唔同嘅情況之下，你未必一定係可以完全達到你嘅要求，因為有時甚至你可能思想喺腦海裏邊有一樣嘢，到你打字嗰時出嚟嘅效果已經係唔同。 或者會有失望添。
But I sort of look at directing as, it's not a motorboat that you're steering, it's a sailboat. And, the wind is going to do what the wind is going to do, and it's your job to harness it to try and get it to go in the direction that you want. And I think if you have to give up a degree of control in order to gain control, if that makes sense.
做導演咧，其實好似開帆船咁，即係話你要靠風同埋風向。 咁 well yeah following the wind， 所以有時咧就要跟風啦，有時可能要逆風啦，就睇下你幾時放力或者係加力落去。
If something's happening, you can't fight it. A lot of times, you might lose a location, or an actor's not giving you the performance that you want, or whatever. Something's going to go wrong. That's a guarantee. So the best thing you can do is just, for example, in the film, O'Shea, the character that we wrote was a much kind of nerdier character, and Aubrey had the idea of casting O'Shea, who's kind of a cool, guy, and he's Ice Cube's son. That's like doesn't get much cooler than that. And once we got on set, he started doing the character, and he did it in his own way, and it was so much better than what we wrote on the page. And we could have said, no, do it exactly how we wrote it, but that would have been a disaster, and it wouldn't have been using his strength. So instead we leaned into it.
有時有啲嘢咧係要肯放開嘅，譬如話 O'Shea 就真係嗰個男嘅 Dan Pinto 呢個角色，其實請咗 O'Shea， 而 O'Shea 呢個人其實有佢嘅，你可以想象下，即係佢嘅角色或者係佢嘅一種特別嘅造型，或者佢做出嚟嘅一個個性。咁佢入嚟嗰陣時，其實係同我哋本身劇本裏邊想像係有少少唔同，但係因為 覺得效果好好，或者佢係咁樣，亦都係做得好好嘅話，於是我哋就係接納咗呢一個演員嘅呢一啲嘅特色。
Yeah.
Good. Last question. Last tote bag. Okay, last tote bag here on this side. 唔該，對唔住你走咁遠，另外嗰邊走廊嗰度唔該。Can you keep this short? But you will get your tote bag.
First of all, thank you for coming. I really love the movie.
Thank you.
So my question would be, what inspired you to transition from a screenwriter to a director? So how does that work actually?
呢位係導演嘅第一個電影，咁就之前亦都做過編劇，咁所以知道由編劇 轉做導演係啲咩過程，同埋係有咩嘢使到驅使到佢咁樣去選擇。
So for those of you who don't know, I've been a screenwriter for the last 10 years since I graduated college.
已經做咗10年編劇㗎啦。Okay, but then this is now first.
And this is my first feature, but I started out wanting to be a director, and but when I graduated college, you know, it's not like they just hand you your first movie, and so I didn't want to get a day job, you know, working in an office. So I started writing as a way of just, you know, being able to make money and provide for myself and be able to be creative and still, you know, do what I wanted to do. And that did great. I did great at that for a while and was making money and everything was fine, but I kind of started to feel restless and it was like, I need to get back to doing what I wanted to do, which is directing. And so I started doing that, but it was a long kind of road to get back. And, you know, because once people see you as one thing, when they see you as a screenwriter, it's very hard to get them to see you as a director or, you know, something else. And so I did the short film, and then that helped me, you know, people see me more as a director, and then I wrote another script that didn't get made, so tried to get that made for years, and then I wrote Ingrid sort of out of desperation of saying I need to direct something, and I wanted to do something really small and cheap that, you know, I could just put my friends in, and then we ended up getting Aubrey Plaza and Lizzie Olsen. It became a bigger film, but, you know, it was a long journey to get to directing my first movie. Sorry, that's a lot.
大學畢業之後其實已經係好想做導演，但係當然一畢業咁唔係話即刻就可以拍第一個電影㗎嘛，於是做編劇，咁啊做咗10年，咁編劇有一個好處嘅，起碼可以賺到錢，可以維持生計，但係做導演嘅夢想啊一直都繼續。咁一開頭咧就係有幾個 short film 啊短片，跟住有第2個劇本嘅，但係呢個劇本係冇。拍到咁，然後咧到 Ingrid 呢一個劇本，其實我當時已經係點講啊，即係已經係覺得係掙扎緊，係差唔多有少少絕望㗎啦。咁但係就有人肯用啦。咁當時點解呢個劇本又有咁嘅意思？因為呢個劇本感覺上同埋知道咧喺拍嗰時唔需要太多錢。咁但係好幸運就係有 Aubrey Plaza， 再有 Lizzie Olsen， 於是有更多嘅錢，然後更加成功 ，more success。
What is
it? I think this is it. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys for a great audience. Thank you.